They sold out ringside, and I don't know how many of those are going to be PBC affiliates, but at least
No, I'm
ringside.
telling you, you can get 5 or 6. Like, here's front row. That's front row, $1,800.
1,800. That's so stupid.
Right?
It's not the fight. I don't think warrants 1,800 yet.
Well, if you talk to these guys, because they went on a media junket. First, the most interesting person of the press releases that they put out, by the way, for those of you watching the video, look, no name. That means press release. Spence's trainers, skills, not size, will beat Mikey Garcia. Well, yeah, size is going to help too. They want to downplay it.
Basically, when you punch a guy and you're heavier than him and bigger, the damage is more. So that does have a little bit of an effect in the fight there, genius.
Derek James, the head trainer of the IBF welterweight champion, Errol Spence, believes size will make the fight, not size, but his quotes. This fight is about skill set, not size. Size will come into play a little bit, but we're going to show the skill sets that we have to beat this guy. That's what Errol's going to do. Mikey Garcia is a good technical style, but there's always a method to take down a great fighter. I think, because he can't reach your fucking fighter's head, dude.
Hey, it's
gonna look like a stupid Rocky fight where he's like swinging in the air.
When they're in training, he's like, "Look, I want you to break this motherfucker down and get him out of there." Has nothing to do about skill. Break his ass down and get him out of there. Let's go home. Fuck out of here. What is he gonna do? Hold back his punches?
Yeah, right. He's gonna launch that from up in a corner behind his head like a bow and arrow and drop it down on him like a rainstorm. He's only got to hit him once from that height. I mean,
everyone, or I won't say everyone. You're seeing a lot of predictions that go, look, eventually the size difference is going to play effect. The trainer looks stupid coming out and saying this when you have.
Well, he's downplaying it because it belittles his fighter.
He should have. It's not his fault.
Look, that's a PBC press release, right? They're trying to make this sound like a more competitive fight than it actually is. Let's go right now. Let's just, by the way, I'm going to skip this story and just go straight to OddsShark and see what the betting line is right now. I don't know how this thing can't be at least a 3 or a 5-1 favorite right now. But let's see what the betting line looks like. Shall we, Andrew? Sports.
More sports.
Boxing. Odds. And Errol Spence versus Miguel
-400.
Yeah, minus exactly what I thought it should be. What is it in Vegas? Westgate. Yeah, -400 plus 300. He's a 4-1 motherfucking underdog in this fight. There's no betting on this fight. Okay, there's no betting. There's no betting on this fight. The only person who believes Mikey Garcia is going to win the fight is Mikey Garcia. Like, Mikey Garcia is the only one with that stupid grin of his. Oh, yeah. I don't work for the PBC anymore. And, oh, by the way, I'm going to beat Errol Spence and be the greatest person in my weight class ever. Like, look at the Mikey Garcia rap when you look at his articles. But who's faster? Yeah, way to go, Mikey. Who's faster? So your plan is to be the jackrabbit in this fight. By the way, press release again, not from Mikey. They're going to take his quotes out of content. The key to my strength training was that we didn't want to lose my speed and explosiveness. I can see now that I'm back in sparring that I still have that speed while also gaining the muscle we had to. What does that mean, bro?
And what's dumb about that is Spence is not a slow fighter. So, I mean, speed.
Right.
Spence has speed
if
too.
People see, I love these quotes. If people say Errol Spence is bigger, that's just obvious. Oh, yeah, okay. But who's faster? Well, I guess if you're going to run for 12 rounds, champ, I guess it's you, I guess. This has to be one of the toughest camps I ever had. Blah, 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 blah. There it is. Proof's in the pudding. Nobody's believing you, Mikey. Nobody's betting on you. Nowhere on the internet. No. In fact, Vegas even has it worse.
Yeah.
-4. That's the win, right? -425 plus 325. It's a 4-1 fight. That's obvious. It's obvious. Mikey's the only one who believes he can win this fight. And I'll say it again. If Mikey Garcia wins this fight, it will be an epic upset, and it will dramatically change Mikey Garcia's life. There will be a shift.
Yep.
Oh, it would be huge. It would literally be huge. He's a free agent. His next fight after this is nothing but playing AT&T Stadium. He will be the biggest fight. Like, this will eclipse Canelo. This is pretty big stuff as an undefeated fighter if he can pull this one off.
Especially with a fighter like Terrence Crawford sitting there, ESPN top ranked, DAZN, they would all be looking to score with him being a free agent. It would shift the power in boxing.
And if I'm Mikey Garcia, I'm going to do exactly what he's doing. I'm going to get a hold of Jake Donovan over at Boxing Scene, and I'm going to say the exact same stuff. I'm looking to establish myself as the best of this generation and one of the best of all times. I'm 39-0, right? It's just matter of fact. I'm 39-0. When I beat Spence, it's just another day in the office. You know what? If he does it, Andrew, and he's talked all this shit prior to the fight because he's the only one who's obviously bet on himself for this fight. Nobody else is betting on him. He's right. He's that guy. He will be that guy. I'm not backing off the fact that I think that Errol Spence is going to knock him out. Clearly the PBC is done with its relationship with Mikey Garcia. I think this is hilarious. But Mikey Garcia, I don't want to break this to you because I went to BoxRec. I highly recommend that for everybody if you're watching the video. What has he done on this that makes him believe he can pull this out of his ass, Andrew? Where is a guy that's literally 6 inches taller than him at basically the same skill level on this list? Where can I point at where I believe that
he's 39-0 and he's a 4-1 underdog? So
right, and I looked at his list. Maybe I missed it, right? Maybe Sergey Lipschitz is 6 inches taller and at the same speed. You know what? He won that by unanimous decision, right? But that's not the case. Sergey Lipschitz was a padded record.
He's Adrian even Broner, power. Yeah, he's lacking power in his last 3 fights.
Right. Right. He doesn't need to be in the weight class he's in. I get it. I get it. But there is nothing on here that makes me want to believe that he's something special.
Look at that. 13 and then 14 one fight, 16 one fight. Eesh. 17 he finally came back.
Yeah.
Wasted career.
It is. Unless he wins. If he wins, Andrew, I'll be the first one to eat crow. This is like the Deontay Wilder thing. The minute you win, champ, I'm with you. But you got to beat somebody in the top 10. You got to do it.
I wonder if he was to win, do you think Floyd comes back for Garcia?
If he doesn't, he's an idiot because that's an epic fight.
It's a perfect opponent, right? He's smaller than
Floyd. By the way, Floyd would just outbox the shit.
Well, we don't know that yet. Let's watch the fight with Spence.
But he still has a fight with Manny Pacquiao and all of his exhibition bouts.
Those guys all bow down if Floyd comes back. If Floyd comes back, 40, would he be 40-0?
Yeah.
4 division champ. It's almost a perfect opponent. He's 31, so he's not in his prime. Floyd loves that.
Oh, well. Moving on. Let's move on to our next story. Of course, because Leo Santa Cruz needs a fight, obviously, Andrew. Leo wishes to fight either a trilogy with Frampton or a title unification. So, Andrew, by the way, again, look, this is a press release, everybody. So they're floating out ideas of what to do with Leo Santa Cruz and his dad's cancer for his next fight.
You're so stupid.
Santa Cruz, in quotes after the fight, I want to thank all the fans for coming out to support me tonight. You played one of the smallest venues in LA, dude. Whatever. I tried to do my best and do what I could to give them a great fight. I would have loved to have been even better, but he's a really tough and solid opponent. I hit him hard, blah, 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 blah. Talking about his next opponent, he said, oh my God, they brought it up in the article. Right here, Andrew. My father means the world to me. When I step into the ring, I say I don't want to let my dad down. I want to see him happy so he can keep fighting cancer. Fuck me. Let it go, people. A lot of people battling cancer. Just saying.
No, and it's not even that. But what if the dad doesn't want to talk about it? You know what I mean? Like, I that's why I would love to talk to Santa Cruz off the record to see, if he said no, my dad's trying to bring awareness as much as he can. Well, fuck, that's why they're doing it. But it just seems like they were shoving it down their throats last night. Almost every opportunity they could get.
From a marketing standpoint, it's a good story. I can tell you Mikey Garcia's story. I can tell you. Look, they're doing okay. They've hired somebody.
This has been for 3 years, though.
No, but let's be honest, Andrew. The PBC is an entertainment company, so they hire a guy like me, right, to come in and they go, "We need to tell a story about this fighter." Look, there's no story you can tell about Caleb Plant that would be interesting. That's why you get a content marketing guy like me to come in and go, "All right, here's the story, dude. I need you to rob a liquor store or to burn a hooker with a crack pipe. You have a family member with cancer. What do you got? Give me a story, kid." And
but it's been the same story for 3 years. That's my
argument. Get that. That's his story.
You got to let it go at some point.
And Mikey Garcia's story is he's the best in the world. Good for him. And he believes it now. After the fight, Santa Cruz had this to say: "I want to be fight the best. I want to fight any of the champions at featherweight or have a third fight with Carl Frampton. I want to be back this summer and fight 3 times this year against the best in the division." Do we really care about another Carl Peter Frampton fight again?
I just yawned, so I guess not. Listen, for the PBC, it's the best fight they can put on, so why not? These two have given 2 excellent fights already. They both have a win. Might as well do
you really care? Do you think the PBC really cares about unification bouts?
I told you I'm a little over the PBC until these guys fight out of their stable. That's why I don't, last night the Rivera fight.
Unification within the PBC. I'll be nice. You control all the belts. Make a unification bout. You got enough belts. I know you don't want to give up any of your champions because you think it sells, but I don't know. I don't know what the logic is over at the PBC. Here's the weird part to the PBC right now to me, Andrew. I get that they're just trying to entertain and get people watching boxing, and they put their champions up against nobody and they stretch out and they don't ever really fight anybody. But then you hire Lennox Lewis and Joe Goosen, who seem to not be a part of your broadcast team. Like they just wandered in off the street and you said, "Oh, look, there's Joe Goosen and Lennox Lewis. Let's have them call a fight," right? So those 2 guys sit down and they have no shame in their talking shit game. Like Lewis calls it the way he wants to see it. Joe Goosen's on the nuts of John Molina. And they don't give a fuck. Like if you fired them tomorrow, both of them would go, "We already have millions of dollars. Like you're not hurting us. You're just not."
I also think there's an issue of Santa Cruz is too small. I don't think he can move out of this division. His power has really never been good. So I think all you would have left is a Carl Frampton. He has Oscar Valdez in that, but that Oscar Valdez fights under Top Rank, and then he has Josh Warrington, and I believe Josh Warrington is with either Eddie or Frank Warren himself. But he's not a PBC guy, so I don't know where they would go with Santa Cruz without it being Carl Frampton again. We all know that's a good selling fight for both guys. I think the fight I would want to see is him and Valdez, to be honest with you. And that's what Santa Cruz is missing. He's a featherweight. He's really small. He's got Valdez. He's got Miguel Burchell. That's a few pounds heavier than him. Those are 2 Mexicans if they were to throw down. Even though to me, Burchell just seems like he's so much bigger than Santa Cruz, it'd be unfair. He really doesn't have that many named opponents left in the PBC stable that is going to be able to help him out. Gary Russell Jr. is there, but Gary Russell Jr. really hasn't blossomed into any household name. I don't see that fight being as good as a fight as if he was to leave the PBC stable, fight Valdez, fight Miguel Burchell,